Good evening, afternoon. Good evening to everyone, and we're live, I believe. Hopefully you guys are having a good Monday. A bit wet down here in Luton, but it's been a good day for me at work, so hopefully you guys are having a good day. And welcome to another live where we are going to be doing a 50 question mock test. Going to do a full mock test today to make sure, for those of you that's got a test coming up, are well prepared, or ask any questions in the chat, especially if you've got a test coming up this week. Type hello if you're new in the chat. Let me just get my comments window up so I can see what you guys are saying. That would be beneficial. Right, Sunday, oops. Don't know why that's so big. Sunday, good day to you. Let me just change that. Assas, good evening. Welcome back. It's nice to see that you're back every week. Nice to see familiar faces. Let me just change this. Just give me 1 minute. Don't know why, but it's coming out so big. Mayo. I don't know why this is coming out so big today. Let's try that. Mayo, good day to you. I ain't seen your name before, so I'm assuming you're new. Welcome. Rhythms, good to see you back. Good day. Hope you had a good day, good week. I've had a good day so far, been a good course this morning and good driving lesson this afternoon. KC, again, don't recognize the name, but it's nice to see you're here. Let me know if you're new. Welcome, welcome. Again, Nan Collins, not seen the name before, so welcome. I've been practicing the for 3 weeks and I got 45 out of 50 with the help of you. I got 45 out of 50. I'm taking that as the practice. You got 45 out of 50, so well done to you. What are you getting on the hazard perception out of interest, Nan? Abdul, welcome. Oh, 30 theory test today. Let me know what you got. What did you get out of the 50 and what did you get out of the hazard perception? Hey Patricia, how are you? I'm fine, I'm good, really good to be honest, but how are you? The most important question. Welcome back. I've got Emily back, welcome. It's nice to see you guys keep coming back, I love that. I've done 40 out of 50, so that's, okay, that's 10 questions wrong. I'm gonna have to say it's lack of knowledge on that if you've got 10 questions wrong on the theory test, on the real test I'm talking about. The paperwork they gave you, I'll say every week, but the paperwork they gave you, depending on what centre you go to, I know they're changing it now, the new changes, I'm not sure if the new changes are coming. If they've given you the paperwork, it's gonna be on there the categories you got wrong. If they haven't given you the paperwork, they're gonna email it to you because those changes are coming in, if they haven't already, where they're gonna start emailing you the results. So if you've got it to hand, look at the categories, that's where you need to start brushing up on. And if they haven't given it to you, they're gonna email it to you and that should be in your inbox. And again, same thing, look at the categories you got wrong and start with that. And then once you brush up and tighten up your knowledge on that, go back to doing mock tests of all the categories. And then once you feel comfortable, you can book another one. Yeah, once you pass the hazard perception, it shouldn't be getting any worse, to be honest. So you should be right with that. It's always going to come down to the questions because you just don't know what 50 questions you're going to get. Oh, I don't understand why it's coming so big. Right, let's shorten that. Joshua, welcome. Question, do I need to know rules for pedestrian cyclists etc. to pass my theory test? You need to know the rules for everything. You're taking my theory test. You need to know everything about the theory test. That's the whole point of taking the theory test. It's not just about learning a bit of section, you don't need the others. And what doesn't come from the theory test will definitely come from your driving lessons. So the answer to your question is yes. Study all the categories, all 14 of them, or 15 if you count the hazard perception. Hello, Minister Joan, welcome. I don't know about the theory motivator. It's glad to have you back and watching. Appreciate it. Thanks to your hazard video, and to be honest, I haven't practiced nor studied. There you go. If you haven't practiced or studied, you got the result. I'm not saying that's the one you deserve, but the work and effort you put in to understand the theory side of it, hopefully on the other side, you get the result you require. If you don't study for the theory test, I'm not saying you can't pass it. It depends on the questions you get. Obviously, if you get a lot of easy questions, you have a better chance of passing the theory test. But the question you have to ask yourself is, why would you go into a theory test without no studying, considering you need it for the driving side of it and you need it for when you pass the driving side of it? Oh, 42 out of 50. So again, 8 questions wrong. Same as usual. Study the categories that you got the question wrong. I'm sorry that you failed it because you've been here most weeks. Study the categories and go from there. How long ago did you fail it? Let me know. Was it last week? Yeah, figure that case in. You've never seen the name before. So welcome, 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 welcome. Appreciate you joining. If you've got any questions, let me know in the chat. Just type any question. I can answer it personal to you rather than me doing a generic answer. Hello, Evelyn. Are you right? Hello, my chat is showing below my video. Don't know why. Hello, my chat is showing below my video. Don't know why. Can't answer that. I'm assuming you're talking about this. That's a YouTube thing, or it depends on what you're watching it on. Lynn, I've not seen your name before, so I'm again assuming that you're new. Appreciate you turning up. Again, if you've got any questions, any concerns, let me know. I'll answer it personal to you. Let me just turn this light on. Sorry, 1 sec. Axel, can you explain the new H1, H3 rules, the road from which or into your turning is so confusing? You've got to give me a bit more information on that. There's lots of rules, and I don't know the numbers. I know the rules, but I don't know the numbers. I'm assuming the road from which you... Can you explain the new rules? The road from which or into your turning is so confusing. Give me a bit more detail on that, exactly what you're looking for, and I can answer that. Glad to know you are good. Crystal, good to see you. Again, welcome back. I don't hope you're well, thanks to you. I passed my... Oh, well done to you. Passed it on Friday, 47 out of 50, well done. And 60 out of 75, that's a high score. Well done to you, congratulations, and thank you for coming back and letting me know. Let me know in the chat if you're taking driving lessons or you're looking to book driving lessons. Foxy, I don't know, passed my theory test first time on Saturday. Oh, well done to you. 49 out of 50 and 65. Again, 65 is a high score. Cannot thank you enough. I have now booked my driving test for October. Well done. October's literally around the corner. It's going to be flying. Are you ready? Let me know in the chat, Foxy, if you are ready for a driving test or you just booked it and hope to be ready by then. GG, I got your email. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Pass my through. Multiple choice, 25. That's perception. God bless you. Yeah, well done to you. And wish you all the luck with your driving, GG. Welcome, Celtic Sean. Again, I'm assuming you're new, not seen your name before. So welcome, welcome. Again, if you've got any questions, let me know in the chat. I can answer it relating to you. Saying which apps is best for the ferry. I'm assuming you haven't watched my videos. Driving Test Success is the app that I would recommend. To be honest, you can use any apps, but the one that I use and I would recommend because I get the best results out of it for my classroom stuff is Driving Test Success, otherwise known as the 4-in-1 app. Not a problem, Crystal. Thank you. You're the one who's watching the videos. You're the one putting the time and effort watching them and taking advice on board. I just try to give you the information for you guys to take it on board and use it, and you obviously have used it well. Hello, sir. Is the ferry test and hazard test at the same time? Thank you. I'll explain. I'm going to do a quick overview on the ferry test. I'll explain that. Don't worry, I know what you meant, Gigi. Seen the email. Why do we need to know rules for cyclists if they're trying to pass a test for a car? Just curious. You're driving on the roads with cyclists. If you know what the laws are for them, then you can apply the safety factor to it. That's why. It's like saying about lorries, you don't need to know about lorries. You're interacting with cyclists, pedestrians, and lorries. You need to know what the rules are for them. So if they step away from those rules, you know they're breaking it, so you can adapt your driving to those things. If someone does something wrong on the driving test or something stupid, you need to turn that into a safety factor. If you don't know what the rules are, you can't do it. You're going to fail for it. That's the reason why. My next ferry test is on the 14th of July. 10th. That's next week. Are you going to be ready, Minister Joan? Let me know if you think you're going to be ready. Again, if you've got any questions, let me know. Abdul, what's the best Afro price? I haven't used any app, just saw some of the videos. As I mentioned earlier on, Ferry Test Success, the 4-in-1, that's one I would recommend, and the paid version. Can you tell me how many signs are there in total? No, I can't. I have no idea how many signs. Does it really matter how many signs there is, or do you just need to know the signs? You knowing whether it's 20 signs, 30 signs makes no difference. You need to know what 20 or 30 signs are. That's the best way to look at it rather than how many signs. And again, Jazzy, I've not seen your name before, so I'm assuming you're new. And welcome on board. Thanks for turning up and watching the live. But the amount of signs, I'll be honest, it doesn't matter. I don't know how many signs there are. Don't bother me. I know what the signs are, not what they mean, but it doesn't matter to me how many signs there are. Oops. Do you suggest still revisiting the ferry after passing, just so your knowledge is still up to standards? This is what I'm thinking of doing. Yes, always revisit. I'm not saying you've got to study it for the length of time it took you to pass the ferry test, but what you need to do is still have that knowledge strong, especially if you're doing a driving lesson. If you're doing roundabouts, for example, go and study the bits about roundabouts. If you struggle with road signs for whatever reason, then go and restudy the road signs, because obviously when you're driving, you need to process that information pretty quickly. So yeah, always keep the knowledge up to date. I'll come to that in a minute. Nan, hello and welcome back. Nice to see you. Joshua, welcome. I'm struggling to understand the highway code so much writing in some little pictures. I totally agree. Question is, why are you reading the highway code? I wouldn't. Especially if you're a book person, that's a different story. But if you're not a book person, do the apps. It makes it more interesting. Don't use a highway code for my training. It's too much. Exactly what you just said, is too much in there. The highway code are the rules and laws for every road user. You're better off studying the app. It makes it a bit more interesting and it's tailored to a driver in that side of things. I wouldn't do the highway code. Right. last week. Yeah, then I would definitely look at the categories that you got wrong, brush upon those, and then once you tidy that up and the knowledge becomes a little bit stronger, then do mock tests again, and then I would think about booking another one. Let me know in the chat if you've booked another one. Not a problem, KC. In most categories, I failed one question. Yes, but you got 40 out of 50. If you're telling me you got one question wrong in a category, that means you got a lot of categories wrong. Let me know how many categories you got wrong, and I guarantee you, even though I've not seen the paperwork, it's over 5 categories. So let me know in the chat how many categories you got questions wrong in. Right. How many questions are in a hazard test and what is a passing point? I will come to that. I'll do an overview in that. Miss Angela, hello, it's my first time. My test, it's soon. Welcome. Let me know if you've got any questions you want answered, tailored to you. If you've got a test which is soon. Paulina Lewinsky. Wilinska. Which app do you recommend? Again, the 4-in-1 driving test success. Go for the paid version, $4.99. Honestly, Dorian, I'm studying so much with you here and on the L success that you say is the best one to use. I'll put the app on my phone. Okay, but are you passing it? Studying is one thing, but are you passing the mock test or the categories if you're doing mock categories instead? Tips for learning the highway code. I don't understand it so much, Ryan. I think I've answered that one. Tip I got for the highway code, don't do it. Use an app. That's my view. Like I said, the highway code is laws and the rules for every road user. You're a driver. Do the app. It's tailored to drivers, where the highway code's tailored to everyone. I've been taking driving lessons since December now, and I'm also ensured that my parents can't so go out and back most days. So hopefully by the time I'll be ready. My instructor is also happy with my test date. That's fine. If your instructor says if he's happy with your test date, that's fine. You're on track. And if you're practicing privately, even better, because it means you're learning naturally rather than doing what your instructor says. You're now making your own decisions with what was your mum's car or parents' car? But you're making your own decisions, which is the main thing. All right, what I'm going to do, could you recommend a residential driving intensive school so I can fly to the UK to do my license? That I can't do. I don't know residentials. I know there's 1 or 2 out there, but I don't know what their situation is. My advice is obviously do a Google search and ring them up or email them and give them, talk to them and find out. Rhythm, I'm assuming that you got some driving experience. I think we had this conversation because you're abroad somewhere, aren't you? I'm sure we had this conversation similar, not residential intensive course, but about driving experience. My advice with intensive courses is make sure before you go on an intensive course, make sure you have some driving experience. That's my view on that because it is intense. Yeah, I would Google search and then see what the best one is for you by talking to them, by emailing them and talking to them, and also Google reviews, obviously. Right, so let me just quickly do what I normally do. So for the new people, I do an overview of the theory test. So Jazzy, I have seen your message, and like I said, I will get round to it now by doing the overview. Right, so the theory test is multiple choice questions. It is 50 questions. You've got 57 minutes to do those questions, and you need 43 out of 50 to pass. That's why I always say study the categories, because you're going to get 3 or 4 questions from each category as you go through that. Once you move off the questions, you go into the hazard perception. There's 14 videos on the hazard perception. 13 of them have single hazards where you can score a maximum of 5, and one of them's got a double, which is 2 5s, and you need 44 out of 75. You need to average at least a 3 on every clip. If your average is below 3, you are going to fail your hazard perception. On that, as I say every week, there's no trick questions on the theory test. No trick questions. They're worded badly, so it makes it sound like in some situations it's a trick question. All you're looking for when you do the theory side of it is a safe answer or a safe outcome. This theory test is black and white. It's safe or it isn't. Simple as that. And you're looking for the safe option. If it doesn't lead to a safe option, you are now looking for a controlled outcome. That's normally motorways and the first aid type of questions where you're looking for a controlled outcome. Do not overthink the theory test. The theory test isn't about you, believe it or not. It's a generic test, which is the same for anyone taking it any part of the country. Once you make it personal to you, you're looking for an answer that's related to you, your chances are you're going to pick the wrong one. Those of you that are taking the test and failing by 1 or 2 marks, you need to stop saying you failed by 1 or 2. If you haven't seen that video, failed by 1, I would suggest you jump on the channel and look at it. It's a different mindset. If you got 42, 41, 40, whatever the score is, you got 8, 9 or 10 questions wrong, which means there's a lack of knowledge somewhere along the line. That's the reason why. So that's the overview of the test. Let me just catch up with the comments. I have my test on the 10th. I'm assuming that's Fahana, welcome back. I'm assuming that's the 10th of July, which is next Monday. So I wish you luck with that. Again, if you've got any questions or concerns, type in the chat so you can get it answered now. Personal to you, is it possible to do a practical test in a different city? My brain shuts off when I enter the Spaghetti Junction. You can take practical tests, such as a driving test. You can take a test anywhere you want. You're not restricted to your own area, but my advice is to try and practice in that area. Practice, I'd hate you using the word practice makes perfect, but practice makes you better. So I wouldn't go to a city or town that is foreign to you. But to be honest, I would definitely practice in that particular area. So go down there and take a few driving lessons. Don't make it too far. Otherwise, the instructor won't want to go down there. Yes, Fahana, like I said, welcome back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, Rhythm, as I keep saying, just Google that, because for me to give you my advice may not be suitable for you. You're better off doing your own sort of research. And obviously you're looking for residential intensive. The other thing with that as well, I know 1 or 2 did it before COVID. I'm not sure if they still do, but you can always book an intensive course with someone, and as in an instructor, and just stay in a hotel nearby. On my courses, when a pupil comes from out of town, they tend to stay at a travel lodge or Premier Inn and just turn up on a daily basis for my courses. So that's something you may want to think about as well. You don't have to be them booking a residence for you. If they do it for you, then it may be more expensive, if that makes sense. Whereas you can choose your own hotel that's budget friendly. Hazard perception, we have to click when we see any moving hazard. Is that right? No. What you're clicking for is anything that's going to cause you a problem, cause you to slow down or change direction. Hazard comes in different forms. It doesn't have to be moving. I've done a video 3-4 weeks ago. My advice is to jump on the channel. It's in depth. I can't even remember what the video was called now, but it's got me clicking a mouse. on the thumbnail. So if you find that video, it covers a lot in that video about hazard perception. Once you watch that, you should be fine. Yes, you need to know the rules for all road users that's relevant to you as a driver, not all the rules that's in the highway code. There's a difference. You need to know all the rules for road users based on you driving, not for all the rules for people in the highway code. It's a subtle difference. Chidi, hopefully I'm saying your name right. I have my first test on Wednesday, this Wednesday, 2 days time. I wish you luck with that. Again, I've not seen your name before, so I'm assuming you're new. If you've got any questions or concerns, anything you're struggling with, type in the chat, let me know. Right, hello Dorian, please, which app is it? Everyone keeps asking me the app. I'm gonna say one more. Driving test success, otherwise known as the 4-in-1, but you can use any app. Go for the paid version, $4.99. I'm just saying the one that I use. I'm not saying it's the best app. It's the one that I use in the classroom, and I get the best results from that. I want to change my date from the 10th of the month to 3 weeks time. What do you think? I can't answer that, only you can. If you want to change it, obviously it means that you're not confident in it. So if you're not confident, change it. It's not a problem. As long as, when's your test, the 10th? I'm assuming it's 10th of July, which is next week. You will give them 3 working days notice to change that. So I would look on your details, the email they sent you. It's got a cancellation date on there. Jump online, change it, move it to the date you want. As long as you do it before that, you don't have to cancel it. You just change the date and it's set, and you're not losing your fee either. But if you waited too late, you can't change it. But if you don't feel confident, change it. Thanks for your support, Mayo. Thank you for your support always. Really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys watching. That's what it's all about. Like I keep saying, if you guys wasn't watching or coming back, let me know your result, pass or fail. I wouldn't be doing the videos because it's a lot of work. Mayo, my advice, watch the hazard perception video. It explains everything that you need to know. It's in depth and gives you different scenarios, clicking too many times, not clicking enough times. It tells you what you need to click on. That is my best advice to you. Watch the video. You're seeing it in action because I explain it with live demos in the, well, it's not live, but on the video, if you know what I'm talking about. Right, 5th of July. Yeah, common. If you just failed your test last week and you dive in and book another one, the question is, what's going to change between last week and the 5th of July, which is Wednesday? That's what you got to ask yourself. What's going to change? You failed for a reason. It's lack of knowledge. You need to boost the knowledge. Don't get me wrong. You may go in there, you may get lucky and get questions that you know, but obviously you're going to pass it. But there's still a lack of knowledge. Whether you pass it or not, there's still a lack of knowledge. You should always study again after you failed the theory test, get the knowledge back up to scratch, and then book another one. Don't book another one straight away, because technically you're going in there with the same knowledge you had of when you failed it. Yes, you've brushed up in a week, but how much difference can a week make? That's the question you have to ask yourself, because only you know if you've studied a lot in that week. I failed per one. Failed by one, I'm assuming that you meant. Again, failing by one, you got 8 questions wrong, 42. I'm assuming that's what you mean. You got 42 out of 50. Let me know, Angela, if that's the case. Does the app you mentioned include driving the essential skills? No, it doesn't include the essential skills. Essential skills is a book called Driving Essential Skills. But it has the knowledge that you need for the theory test, yes. Again, a video 2-3 weeks ago, I've done a little overview. I've done a mock test. I can't even remember. I think it's 20-question mock test on the app itself. It's got an overview of the app. It tells you what it's got in there as well. So again, watch that video. It was done about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. All right, so what I'm going to do now is Right, what I'm going to do now is a mock test, 50 question mock test. So let me just set this up quickly. Right, share the screen. Hopefully you guys can see that. Right, the way this works for all you new guys and in here, you read the question first. So the first question is, you're planning to tow a caravan. What will help the handling of the combination? So this would be A, jockey wheel fitted to the tow bar. B, anti-lock brakes fitted to the towing vehicle. C, a stabilizer fitted to the tow bar. And D, power steering fitted to the towing vehicle. So A, B, C, D. And all you got to do is put that into the chat, A, B, C, D. I have to let you know, guys, know it's time constraints, not a 20 question mock test where we've got unlimited time. We've got a real time of 57 minutes. So I've got to pay attention to that so we don't run out of time. And I know there's a delay between me saying what I'm saying and you guys hearing this on YouTube. And I will still try to answer any questions as we go along. I'm just applying for my provisional license, so I will be applying for my exam. Just applying for my provisional license. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with stopping you studying before the license comes, and then when the license comes, you're, yeah, good to go. Right, I'm seeing C, C, C. I don't think I said hello to you, Portia. Welcome. And C. Right, Farhan has got C. C. Right, you plan to tow a caravan. What will help the handling of the combination? A stabilizer fitted to the tow bar. Yes, it's C. Stabilizer keeps the caravan stable. So when the car drives straight, the caravan drives straight. What does it mean if your trailer has a maximum authorized mass, MAM as short, of 3,500 kg? Your empty trailer weighs 3,500. Your trailer and load combined cannot weigh more than 3,500. Your trailer can carry a load of 3,500. Your trailer and towing vehicle combined cannot weigh more than 3,500. So let me know in the chat. Oops, let me take it off screen. Paulina, anything else I can do instead of reading Driving Essential Skills book? It says that the book is part of a knowledge on which you tested in the theory side of it. Paulina, are we talking about the theory test or the driving test? Let me just clarify what you're studying for. The theory test or the driving test? Just type in the chat, driving or theory, so I know exactly what you're talking about, and then I can answer that question and put your mind at ease. Right, I've got B. I've got a C, so difference of opinion here. D's, B's and C's. Right, B, let's deal with B first. Your trailer and load combined cannot weigh more than 3,500. Your trailer can carry a load of 3,500. So C is your trailer can carry a load of 3,500. And B, your trailer and load combined cannot weigh more than 3,500. What does it mean if your trailer has a maximum authorized weight? Your trailer and towing vehicle combined. Your trailer and load cannot weigh more. Your trailer and load. That's interesting. Right. Your empty trailer weighs 3,500. It can't be that. Your trailer and load combined cannot weigh more than 3,500, which is what you guys are going for, the majority of you. So I've got B's. All right, I've got D's on this, and I've got a D coming through on this. Your trailer can carry a load of 3,500. Your trailer can carry a load. Your trailer and towing vehicle combined cannot weigh more than 3,500. Wow. I'm going to go for I'm going to go for D. Your trailer and towing vehicle combined cannot weigh more than 3,500. That's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to actually flag that because that's the question that doesn't come up on a regular basis. I'm going to actually flag that, so I'll come back to it later on. And this is what I suggest you guys do. If you're not sure of the answer it, flag it, move on. We can always come back to it towards the end. Right, you're driving in heavy traffic on a wet road. Which light should you use if there's a lot of surface? I've mentioned this so many times. Bog standard question, which lights to use? A, rear fog lights if visibility is more than 100 meters. Dipped headlights, main beam, and side lights only. If you guys watch my videos, you would know the answer to this. The government guidance states a multiple choice question, the theory tests are based on 3 books. The highway code, know your traffic signs, driver essential skills, the government guidance states. Yes, it does. I totally agree with that. It does come out of that, but the apps condense it. So technically, if you think about it, it's 3 books. So you've got 3 books, let me put that there. The apps condense the 3 books into exactly what you need to know. That's what I do in my videos. I don't give you any extra information that you don't need to know. All my information I give is about the theory test itself. I may give you hints and tips along the way, but I don't give you irrelevant information. That's what the books does. They go over the top with the books. So if you want to read the books, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's going to take you longer to reach your goal of passing the theory test. But if you want to done I hate using the word quicker version, the app condenses it and you are now studying exactly what you need for the theory test. That's the reason why I suggest the app. But if you're a book reader as well, there's going to be nothing wrong with you reading the books. All right, let me just go back to this. Gigi's got B, Miss Angela's got B. Assas's got B. Yeah, most of you going for B's. The answer is B's, dip lights. If it's a bog standard light question, it's always going to be dip headlights or headlights. If they want more information like fog lights, main beam, it's going to be in the question itself. Your toner caravan. Your toner caravan, which is the safest type of rear view mirror to use? The safest type of rear view mirror. Ordinary door mirrors, extended arm side mirrors, ordinary interior mirror, interior wide angle mirror. Again, type in the chat. Let me just catch up with these guys. Life, I don't want to pass my theory test today. Well done to you, Life. Thank you so much for helping me. You're brilliant. I really want you to see this message. I've seen it and thank you for coming back and letting me know that you passed it. Type in the chat if you are you looking to book a driving test or you're taking driving lessons. Right, what are you guys going for? Oops, let me just get that back. And let me lock back so it doesn't go again. Right, I've got B's. B. So most of you going for B. Extended arm side mirrors. Yeah, your wing mirrors. That's your wing mirrors they're talking about. The way the word is make it sound weird, extended. Your door mirrors have to be extended because the caravan's wider than the car. So you still need to see your lane changes, turning left, turning right. How can you make sure that a satellite navigation, otherwise known as sat-nav system, doesn't distract you when you're driving? Choose a voice that you find calming, turn it off while driving in built-up areas, set it before starting your journey, only set the destination when you're lost. Chester, hello, hello. Mr. Dorian, pray for me. My practical test is on Friday afternoon. You got a test for Friday. I wish you luck with that. Remember, all you two want to do is safety, safety, safety when you're driving. Take your time and breathe. You're not in a rush on the driving test, but I wish you good luck with that. Let me know how you get on. Right, I've got C. Most of you are going for C's on this. Yeah, set it before starting the journey. The distraction is the voice, especially if you're using a TomTom. If you go the wrong way, it will say turn around when possible. Turn around when possible. Little tip for you guys, when you pass your driving test, don't use TomToms, use Waze, an app called Waze. It's a lot better for you guys as new drivers because it just resets itself. It gives you the quickest route between 2 points as well. Better than the TomToms and the Garmins. You're driving on a wet road. What should you do if you have to stop your vehicle in emergency? What should you do if you have to stop your vehicle in emergency? Give an arm signal, select reverse gear, apply the parking brake and foot brake together. Keep both hands on the steering wheel. I have lessons with a friend. I drive on average 15 miles and doing odd maneuvers. Right, that's good. I'm not knocking it. But having lessons with a friend is not necessarily going to get you to test standard. I would suggest at least booking a couple of lessons with an instructor and they can pick up your weak spots and then you can go off and practice those weak spots with your friend. Driving is one thing, but you've got to drive to test standard and only an instructor is going to see those weaknesses. Your friend is not going to see that. So that's what I would recommend. Still practice with your friend, do the maneuvers, but try to get a couple of driving lessons with an instructor who can guide you and help you out and give you advice on that. Right, I've got D. Portia's gone for D, and then most of you have gone for D's. Keep both hands on the steering wheel. Yeah, when you're doing an emergency stop, you need to keep both hands on the wheel because the weight goes to the front wheels. When must you contact the driver and vehicle license agency, otherwise known as DVLA? So when should you make contact? When your vehicle's insurance is due, when you change your vehicle, when you get a parking ticket, when you use your vehicle for work. I've just seen this message, life 20 years. That's a long time to stop and get going again, but well done to you for coming back. Why are the questions in the theory test so convoluted? Am I passing the theory test or a PhD in English comprehension? Driving is dangerous. That's the reason why. They're trying to make you study so you know the ins and out of it. Right, we've got B. Oops, that's the wrong one. Again, you guys are going for B's. When you change your vehicle, when you change your vehicle, you need to let the DVLA know so they can update their records. Your car needs to pass an MOT test. What may be invalidated if you drive a car without a current MOT certificate? Your vehicle service record, the vehicle insurance, the vehicle tax, the vehicle registration document. Sorry, I'll be looking. I will be booking. Try to read. Official instructor, just awaiting the availability. In the meantime, I'm doing odd lessons with a friend. Yeah, recommend that highly. Driving instructors are hard to come across, especially this time of year, because it's the busiest time of year for us. Everyone wants to learn to drive before the summer's out. and going back to uni and college and all the rest of it. But yeah, definitely take a few driving lessons with an instructor. They will put you on the straight and narrow. Right, I've got B's here. Right, guys got B's. What are we looking at? Car needs MOT. Yeah, if it hasn't got an MOT, basically if your car's not roadworthy, your insurance is invalidated, they're not going to pay out if you have an accident, you've got no MOT. So it's going to be the vehicle insurance. You're driving in freezing conditions. What should you do as you approach a sharp bend? What should you do? Coast into the bend, firmly use your foot brake, apply your parking brake, slow down gently. Oh, let me close that down a bit. I don't. I got divorced and my husband used to drive everywhere, so now I'm driving for myself and I'm feeling very confident. I used to have official lessons years ago. I give you credit to come back after 20 years. I give you credit for that. I hope you see it through and I hope you pass first time. So well done for sticking at it. It will give you a nice feeling when you pass that independence after so long. Right, I've got D. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Miss Angela's gone for D. Minister Joan, D. Most of you have gone for D's. And the answer is D. It's going to be slow down gently always, and especially with freezing conditions. Oh, done a video a couple of weeks ago on this. You're driving along a, can you not see all of that? Right, you're driving along a country road. You see this sign. What should you do after dealing safely with the hazard? Accelerate briskly. Check your tire pressure. Switch on your hazard warning lights. Test your brakes. So if you saw the video I'd done a couple of weeks ago, you'll know the answer to this. Oops, let me take this down while you're answering that. Right, just use Google Translate. Most of the questions are common sense. All the best, and do not stress it. Honestly, it's easier than test in Poland, I'm told. Right, what are we going for? Got D from Porsche, D for Goody, from Milola, D. Most of you are going for D's, and the answer is D. If you don't know, 4D is a lot of surface water. When you drive through it, you've got to test your brakes just to make sure they're not soaking wet, and it's going to stop you in time. Which light should you use when driving on a wet motorway and vehicles are throwing up surface spray? That's how the ferry test works sometime as well. So which lights? Hazard warning lights, side lights, dipped headlights, rear fog lights. Just use Google Translate. I never really thought about using Google Translate. That's a good piece of advice, Live. Most of the questions are common sense. Yes, they are common sense, most of them. All the best, do not stress. It's honestly easier than the test in Poland. I can't vouch for the test in Poland, but yeah, definitely do not stress when you're taking the theory test. That's when you can't think straight. Right, let's see what you guys have got. C, C, C. Yeah, most of you are going for C's. Again, it's a similar question to before. Basic bog standard question about lights. It's always going to be dipped headlights. What should you do if you're being followed by an ambulance showing no flashing blue lights? What should you do? Maintain your speed and course. Pull over as soon as it's safe to do so. Brake harshly and stop well out into the road. Accelerate hard to get away from it. So let me know. Right, so the answer, what are you guys going for? Go B, B, and again, most of you are going for B. Pull over as soon as, yeah, pull over as soon as it's safe. It's got the key word there, safe. As I said, it doesn't always work, but out of all of them, it's got safe in it. That's the option you want to go for. You're in a line of traffic. What action should you take if a driver behind you is following very closely? What action should you take? Move over to a position just left of center line of the road. Slow down, gradually increase the gap between you and the vehicle in front. Signal left and wave the driver behind to come past. Ignore the driver and continue to travel within the speed limit. That's going to be an interesting one. See what you guys come up with. Right. Right, I've got B, and most of you are going for Bs, which is nice to know, because most of my students in the classroom will go for ignore the driver behind, which is not a good thing to do, ignoring drivers. It's going to be B, make the gap between you and the car in front bigger so you've got more room to play around with if it stops suddenly. So it's, oh, let me put that back. It's going to be B. What should you do to avoid fuel spillage? What should you do to avoid fuel spillage? Check that your fuel gauge is working. Check that your filler cap is securely fastened. Check that you've used a lock-in filler cap. And check that your tank is only 3/4 full. Remember, if you guys got any questions you want, especially if those of you got a test this week or early next week, type in the chat, let me know, and I can answer it to your personal needs. Right, I have B's on this one. Again, B. Minister John's got B. It's going to be B. Just make sure it's securely fastened. It's no different from the way that I explained in the classroom. A water bottle, if you don't close the water bottle tightly, it's going to spill out in the end. So just make sure it's securely fastened. Why are vehicles fitted with rear fog lights? Why? To make them more visible in thick fog, to warn drivers following closely to drop back, to make them more visible when driving at high speeds, to show when they've broken down in dangerous positions. Harriet, I've not seen your name before, so I'm assuming you're new, so welcome. Unless you've been here before but not commented, so welcome, Harriet. Right, so what have you guys going for? I've got difference of opinion here. Evelyn's gone for A. Fab Lady's got C. Rhythm, A. Porsche, A. Right, let's deal with the C first. C, A, B, C. To make them more visible when driving at high speeds. No. As I always say in the videos, look for golden nuggets. Read the question, got fog lights. The only one that's got fog in it is A. To make them more visible in thick fog. That's what it's about. You're driving on an icy road. Keyword, icy road. What distance from the car in front should you drive? 8 times the normal distance, 6 times the normal distance, 4 times the normal distance, 10 times the normal distance. This is about stopping distances, to be honest. Message for Paulina. Did you see life's message to you? If you're still in, just say yes or no, or scroll up the chat to find it. Right, I've got D, and most of you are going for D. I've got an A here. KC's gone for A. A is 8 times the normal distance. Nope, not 8 times, it's 10 times. Ice and snow is 10 times more. And wet conditions is double, just in case that comes up at a future date for you guys studying. What's the reason for traffic calming measures? To make overtaking easier, to stop road rage, to slow down traffic, to make parking easier. Me, Sandy, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let me know if you've got a test booked or if you've got any questions that you want answered personal to you. I will do that for you if it's possible. My theory test is coming up next Monday, 10th of July. I wish you luck with that next Monday. Again, let me know if you've got any questions or any issue that you want resolving now while you are here. Sorry, C, Minister Joan. Oshin, C. Most of you are going for C's. And the answer is C. If you don't know what traffic calming measure is, it's speed humps, width restrictions, or chicanes, and it's designed to slow traffic down. Right, when must you use dip headlights during the day? When must you? When you're parking, all the time when you're driving, when driving along narrow streets, when you're driving in poor visibility. Jennifer, hello, Dorian, I passed my theory test. Well done to you. Let me know what score you got. So well done for passing, and thank you for coming back and letting me know. Appreciate that. No problem. Makes it worthwhile when people are passing it. Right, I've got D's here. D. The only time you're going to use your lights in daylight is when visibility is poor, if you didn't know. So you turn the lights on so you could be seen from a distance. What's the first thing you must do if you have a collision while driving your car? What's the first thing you must do if you have a collision? Call your insurance company. Stop at the scene of an incident. Stop only if someone waves at you. Call the emergency services. Fab lady. Can you do an online lesson for my partner? He has difficulty reading to understand. It's coming. I am doing a course and I'm just going through the DVLA bits and pieces they've sent me because I have been licensed by them to use their stuff. I've got someone else who's got difficulties as well. He's got dyslexia and ADHD. So I am putting something together via Zoom. So when it's done, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll have it up and ready and then we can talk. Get him to send me an email, by the way. That's the easiest way, otherwise I'm not going to remember. So get him to send me an email, say it's about the live and he's got learning difficulties or reading difficulties. info@drivingferryuk.com. That's info@drivingferryuk.com. And as I said, I'm hopefully be doing that within the next 2 weeks. And then I can roll that out to anyone who's got difficulties in learning. I am going to be doing a membership course as well for those of you who want to pass. I'm going to do a membership course. That's something slightly different where I can help you along the way and see all your stats. But like I'm just going through the DVSA's dashboard at the moment to make sure I'm happy with their software. Right, where are we at? What's the first thing you must do? Right, let's see what you guys have been putting. B. Right, most of you, all Prince, I ain't seen you before. Welcome, sneaking through the back door. B. Right, what's the first thing you must do? Stop at the scene. If you have an accident, you must stop at the scene of the accident. Otherwise, it's classed as hit and run. What's the information you should share if you're involved in a collision that causes damage to another vehicle? This is basically follow on from the previous question. So what information should you share? Your occupation and reason for your journey, your internet service provider, your name and address and vehicle registration number, your national insurance number. Evan, I've seen your question. I don't know what, I can't remember what number 18 was, and I can't go back. Just seen your message, Charlene. Hello, first time here, using your materials to prepare, feeling more confident. Welcome, first time, welcome. Let me know if you got a test coming up soon. Right, you guys are going for C. C, yeah, most of you are going for C's. It's going to be C. That's all you need to supply is your name, address, and registration vehicle. Nothing more, nothing less. So if they ask for more details, you can tell them you don't need it. At an incident, it's important to look after any casualties. What should you do with them when the area is safe? Ask them how it happened. Move them away from the vehicle. Give them something to eat. Keep them where they are. Welcome, Achu. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Welcome, first time. Again, let me know if you've got any questions or concerns. I can answer it for you. Right, you guys are going for D. Keep them where they are. Never move anyone unnecessarily because it can cause them more harm than good that you can't see. You're on a smart motorway. What does it mean when a red cross is displayed above the hard shoulder? So red X above the hard shoulder. I'll always say read the question, look at the image, and then go to the answers. You must not travel in this lane. Pull up in this lane to answer your mobile phone. This lane can be used if you need a rest. Use this lane as a running lane. Jones, hello, just want to say a very big thank you. I am assuming you're thanking me because you've passed. Let me know if you passed, that'd be good news. Can you do more teaching on stopping distance, especially on motorways? There's nothing to know about stopping distance on motorways. There's nothing to teach on that. I'll explain it in a minute. Right, you guys are going for A. A's. Oops, same one. Chris was going for A. Right, you guys are going for A. The answer is you must not travel in this lane. If you've got X across the above the lane, that regardless of if it's hard shoulder or any lane, it's got X. Do not go any further in that particular lane. If it's got a 50 in it, same sign but a 50, it will be D. Use this lane as a running lane. So if it's got a number over a speed limit, you can use a lane. If it's an X, you can't use a lane. Right, again, I'm just conscious of time, 23, and we've got 22 minutes left. You're driving on the motorway. Which lane should you get into well before you reach your exit? Your right-hand lane, the hard shoulder, the middle lane, the left-hand lane. All right, let me just deal with this. Us in. There's no stopping distances on the motorway. All you need to know, it's the same stopping distance for anything. If you're driving on the motorway, you need to leave a 2-second gap between you and the car in front if it's dry. If it's wet, it's 4 seconds. And if it's ice and snow, it's up to 10 times longer. It's the same for any conditions, whether it's the normal road or motorways. That's why you don't really need to know too much about stopping distance. 2 seconds if it's dry, 4 seconds if it's wet, 10 times longer if it's ice and snow. Hopefully that makes a bit more sense for you. Right, you guys are going for D's. And the answer is, yeah, to come off the motorway, you have to come off in the left-hand lane. You should be in the left-hand lane from at least a mile away. As for those of you taking driving lessons. On a 3-lane motorway, dyslexia. On a 3-lane motorway, which lane should you use if there's no traffic ahead? Right-hand lane, left lane, center lane, either the right or center. Jones, yeah, I passed the test and got 43 and 71. Right, just about squeezed the theory side of it, 43, and the 71 out of 75. That's really, really high. Well done to you. Let me know if you're taking driving lessons or you're going to book a driving test. It's nice to know what your guys' next steps are. Prince, I've been watching your videos, but this is the first time joining your live classes. Hopefully the videos, I'm assuming they're helping. That's why you're here live. So welcome, first of all, and thank you for watching the videos. Appreciate it. Right, let's see what you guys are going for. For Harness, pull it out, left lane. B, what's B? Left. Someone's gone for D. What's D? Either right or center. No, always stay left when possible. Again, gone for D. On the motorway, you stay left when possible. Only come out of that lane when you are overtaking something. And then when you overtake, you've got to get back to the left. Let me get that back. Right. Right, what will the speed limit usually be where you can see street lights but no speed limit signs? 50, 40, 30, 60. Starting the driving next week. I wish you luck with that. Let me know how that goes on. Again, if you've got any questions about your driving lessons as you go through it, let me know. Remember, I will help you with that as well, not just the theory side of it. Right, I've got B. Right, I've got difference of opinion here. So I've got a B, C. That's the same one. Patricia's gone for C. What's C? 30 miles an hour. Right, most of you are going for C's. It's 30 miles an hour. Built up area with street lights is 30 miles an hour. You're on a road that's only wide enough for one vehicle. What should you do if a car is coming towards you? You're on a road that's only wide enough for one vehicle. What should you do? Pull into a passing place on the right. Pull into a passing place on the left. Force the other driver to reverse. Pull into a passing place if your vehicle is wider. Right. Natalie, I said thank you so much for your videos. Is helping. Is there a difference between mock test and real theory test? My theory test is tomorrow at 2 p.m. We've got a PM test. Is there a difference? Is there a difference between mock tests? Yes, there is. The questions are worded differently. So on the, let me just deal with this question. I'm going to come back to your query because I'm conscious about time. Right, let's see what you guys are going for. Oops, wrong way. I've got B. That's a bit small. B. Right, most of you are going for B. Pull into a parking place on your left. Yes, it's called a meeting situation. You want to pull into the parking place on the left. You see these double white lines along the center of the road. When may you park on the left? I've done a video about that about 5 weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago. They're talking about the broken lines. You're going up. Talking about the broken lines. All right, let me just come back to this query. Natalie, let's get that out of the way. Yeah, the difference is on the apps, they are sample questions. So the app is sample questions. Obviously, you're taking a real test. It's going to be worded slightly different. The outline or the basics is still the same. You still have to choose a safe option. That's what I always say. If you understand the questions and answers, when they word it differently, it ain't going to make much difference. So the only difference is the questions are going to be worded slightly different on that, but the outcome is still going to be the same, safe answer or a controlled answer. So hopefully that makes more sense. Hopefully, good luck with your test tomorrow as well. Let me know how you get on. Right, let's see what you guys are going for. I've got D. And again, most of you are going for Ds. Yeah, it's a parking restriction to pick up or set down your passengers. That's what that's for. Right, I'm going to do a few of these answers myself because we just need to speed it up so we can get the test done. So 28. You're turning right at a crossroads. An oncoming driver is also turning right. What's the advantage of turning behind the oncoming vehicle? In fact, I want you guys to answer this one. It's a little bit more complex. I want you guys to answer this one. So you'll be able to turn without stopping. You'll have a clearer view of any approaching traffic. You'll have more time to turn. You'll use less fuel because you can stay in a higher gear. Test is next Wednesday, which is the 10th, 11th, 12th, 12th of next month. Come back on the live next Monday. Any questions you have between now and then, write them down, bring it back to the live. I can answer it for you. If you don't come back, I wish you good luck for your driving theory test and let me know how you get on. Right, let's see what you guys have got. Get rid of that one. These things are going so small. Right, I got a B, B, B. Most of you are going for Bs. You have a clearer view of approaching traffic. Yeah, that's near side to near side and on side to one side. I think I've done a video on that as well. You have a clearer view on that one. That's the right answer. Right, so like I said, we're running out of time, so I just need to be conscious about. Right, why should you check for motorcyclists just before turning right into a side road? The reason for that is because they will overtake you, simple as that. The pizza delivery guys, the courier guys, time is money for them. So they may be following you closely. No, they may be overtaking on your left. It's got right in the question, so that can't be correct. They may be overtaking on the right. So you got right in the answer. You got right in the question. That's your golden nugget. And that's the answer is going to be, but always read the other options. They may be emerging from the side road. Emerging is coming out of the side road. You're waiting to come out of a side road. Why should you look carefully for motorcyclists? So the options, police patrols often use motorcycles. No. Motorcyclists can easily be hidden behind obstructions. That's a possible. Motorcyclists are usually faster than cars. Yes, but that's not a safe answer. And motorcyclists have right of way, which they don't. So it's going to be that option. Which vehicle should you allow extra room as you overtake? Extra room is going to be cyclists all day long. Cyclists and motorbikes because they swerve. If the question comes up, why do motorcyclists or motorbikes swerve? Because drains, manhole covers, the wheels don't grip. So it's going to be that one. You're about to overtake a cyclist. It's all cyclists, from the road users category. Right, you're about to overtake a cyclist on a road that has a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. How much room should you leave them as you overtake? At least a car length. At least as much room as you would if you're overtaking a car. That's going to be the safest option. At least 2 car widths, no. At least a car width, no. It's going to be as much room as you would normally leave a car as the option. Why should you try to park in a secure car park? It stops the car being exposed to bad weather, no. It makes it easy to find your car, no. It helps deter thieves. Deter is just another word they use to stop thieves from taking your car. Obviously, if it's secure, then the thieves have less chance of stealing it, which is that one, but always read the other options. It doesn't cost anything to park here. So it's going to be that one. What should you do if your anti-lock brakes, ABS, otherwise known as ABS, warning light stays on? If it stays on, you're going to need to check it out as quickly as safely as possible. Check the parking brake is released, no. Check the foot brake free play, no. Have the brakes checked immediately, yes. Check the brake fluid level, no. So that's going to be the option. What will reduce fuel consumption? Late and heavy braking. Late and heavy braking is going to increase it because you're braking late, using more fuel to move off. Driving more slowly. It's going to be that one. Driving more slowly in the right speed for the right gear. That's what they mean when they say driving more slowly. Accelerate rapidly. Once you accelerate, you're burning fuel. And staying in low gears, no. You're driving a friend's children home from school. They're both under 14 years old. Who's responsible for making sure they wear a seatbelt or prove child restraint? If it comes up with anything like this, it's always going to be the driver. Once you jump in the car and jump in the driver's seat, it's always your responsibility for the car. So that's what you're looking for. An adult passenger, no. The children, no. And they're under 14 anyway. For your friend, no. You, the driver, yes. All day long, the driver. When are you not allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? This one is between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. is when you're not allowed to sound your horn. So it's not this one between 11:30 6 a.m. 11:30 p.m. 7 a.m. is going to be that one. You don't need to read the other options of that because they don't give you anything close to that. 11:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. is when you shouldn't sound your horn. This is just on the school bus. Bring that up so you can see. What type of vehicle displays this sign? It's a school bus, on a school bus, side of a school bus. No matter how they word it, as long as it's got school bus in the wording, it's going to be that one. Private ambulance, no. A school bus, yes. Broken down vehicle, no. An ice cream van, no. What will become more expensive after you've been convicted of driving while unfit through drink controls? Once you've been convicted through driving, it's insurance all day long. Your insurance is going to go sky high. So it's going to be this one. What should the driver of the red car arrow do? Someone's crossing the road. The safest option is to slow down, be prepared to stop, something along those lines. Wait for the pedestrians in the road to cross, yes. Tell the pedestrian in the road she shouldn't have crossed, no. Wave. Once you wave on the driving test, it's over. You're going to fail. And quickly drive behind. Once you've got quickly in the answer, again, it's going to be wrong. It's going to be the first one. Wait, be patient. You're not in a rush on the driving lesson or a driving test. Right, you can see that. You're on a 3-lane motorway. How should you overtake a slow-moving lorry in the middle lane if it's showing the sign? The arrow is facing left, so it means you can pass on the left-hand side. That's what it means. So cautiously approach the lorry, then overtake on either side, no. Approach with care and overtake on the left of the lorry, yes, because the arrow's facing left. But still read the others. Follow the lorry until you can leave them away, no. Use the right-hand lane, no, because it's facing left, so it can't be that one. Why should you reduce your speed here? If you look at the signs and images, you've got triangle warning you, and you've got a staggered junction. That's what that is. That's a staggered junction. The road narrows ahead. No. Low bridges ahead. No. The road surface changes ahead. No. A staggered junction is ahead. Yes. That's why I say always read the images first, or look at the images first. You get clues from the images sometimes. Makes life a lot easier. What does this sign mean? Remember, for those of you seeing the videos, 95% of red circles are no's. I always say go to your 4 options, look at the 2 no's. So if you go to the options, no cars, no motorcycles, go back to the image and it's easy to work out from that. So you got motorbike, no motorcycles, don't need to read anything else. What does this sign mean? Again, you're going from bottom to top. So the tram, because a picture of a tram, is crossing. So give way to trams, possible. Route for trams, no. Route for buses, no. Give way to buses. So it's going to be that one. In winter, can you guys see what's on screen? Right, in winter, road signs can become covered by snow. What does this sign mean? It's an octagon. It's the only shape in the highway code like it. It means stop. You don't need to know anything else. Octagon is the only shape like it. It means stop. If it's an upside down triangle, it's give way. That's why it's shaped like that. So you can be covered, when it's covered in snow, you're going to know exactly what it means. What does this sign mean? It's got 20 zone. Maximum speed limit with traffic calming, no. Minimum speed would be a blue circle. Only 20 cars allowed at any time, no. 20 cars only parking zone. No, so it's maximum speed limit with traffic calming. Yes, this one. See, that's why you got to read it twice. I read this and said no. And that's the reason why you take your time. I'm trying to rush to make sure we can do the time and almost made a common mistake there. And that's why you read all the options, because sometimes options don't make sense, which means you have to go back to the beginning and start again reading the questions and answers. So like I said, I'm not different from you guys. I make these mistakes in the classroom. But the point is I learn from my mistakes and reread the question or reread the answer. That's minimum speed limit. Blue circle, minimum. Minimum speed limit 30. Surface area, no. Maximum speed would be a red circle, laid by no. Right, that's your case studies. You're approaching, can you guys see that bit? You're approaching a roundabout and see these road markings separate left-hand lane. When can you cross these markings? Right, to overtake a cyclist, no. If you realize you're in the wrong lane, no. To pass queuing traffic, no. In emergency, and then only when it's safe. The key word there is safe to do so. So it's going to be that one. Why should you check over your shoulder before changing lanes in busy moving traffic? This is similar to the cycle question. Why do you check for motorbikes before turning right? Just in case someone's overtaking you on the right. So traffic ahead will make room for you, no. To check for pedestrians, no. To avoid having to give us signal, no. In case something is positioned in your blind spot. And that's what the shoulder check does, eliminates the blind spot. What should you do if a driver pulls across your path, causing you to brake or swerve? Flash your lights, no. Overtake as soon as possible, no. Sound your horn to show your annoyance, no. Ignore the error and stay calm. So it's going to be that one. Right, I have got the flagged one. So what does it mean if your trailer has a maximum authorized? Take a look at that timer, you lot can see that. Right, you're empty. Again, just you guys type in the chat what you think this is. So just type in the chat what you think this one is. So it's reviewed, we flagged it. Let's type it in. We've got at least 2 minutes to discuss this. What does it mean if your trailer has a maximum authorized mass, MAM for short, of 3,500 kg? Your empty trailer weighs 3,500. Your trailer and load combined cannot weigh more than 3,500. Your trailer can carry a load of 3,500. Your trailer and towing vehicle combined cannot weigh more than 3,500. So let's just have a show of hands what you guys think this is. Right. Ugh, don't know why it's gone big. I've got definitely B. I've got B. B. Right, most of you are going for Bs. Most of you are going for Bs. I've got a D. All right. So you guys say it's B. So your trailer and load combined cannot weigh more than 3,500. Okay, let's take a look. Review, end test. There's one wrong. And that's me getting it wrong, route for trams. So the last one was correct from you guys, and you can see there, that's what happens when you rush. Right, so let me come out of this. Right, have you guys got any questions or anything that you want to discuss while we are here? What just happened there, and if that happens in one of my videos, because there's a couple in my videos where I wasn't sure what the answer was. It was easy for me to just click it, re-film it, and edit the stuff out. I will never edit out an answer I get wrong. And the reason being, because I'm showing you exactly what mistakes you can make. Because I was rushing, I chose the wrong answer. That's what happens when you rush. And that's why I say take your time when you're doing the questions. Because if you take your time, you can almost see your own errors and your own mistakes. When you are rushing, you're asking for trouble. This morning, one of the classes, in my class, I had a pupil finish in 12 minutes. He failed his test. He got 41 out of 50, got 2 wrong. And when we reviewed it, 3 of the questions he misread, just similar to what I just did. Add the 3 to his 41, 44, he would have passed it. But at least it was in the classroom doing a mock session. So he now knows, hopefully he slows himself down as the days go on and then takes his test on a Friday morning, Saturday morning. He's tested booked for Saturday morning this week. So that's the mistakes you can make. And that's what I will stress. Read the questions carefully, read the answers carefully, and then you can flag any question that you're not sure of and then go back with the time that you have left. So hopefully that's a lesson learned from you guys on that. Welcome, Timmy-san. Hopefully I haven't pronounced that right. I'm new here. Have you guys got any, let me just go through the chat. I'm asking you, I'm not even looking at the chat. Yeah, too fast. I was way too fast. The main thing, it's not about me anyway. It's about you guys getting it. As long as you guys got it right, that's all that matters. It's not about whether I'm right or no, wrong. Yeah, that's why I don't really do 50 question mock tests, because it doesn't really tally on a live session because I'm dictated by time. That's why I normally do a 20 question and get you guys to choose a topic. So that's what we're going to do next week. Have a topic in mind, turn up, and then we'll go with the majority on that. Right, I've got nothing else here. Right, Chester, let's take a look. My question is, how many times can one correct a mistake in a reverse maneuver on a car practical test? Good question. And I'm going to say, I don't know. That's going to be my honest view. It's going to come down to the examiner's discretion. I have seen my personal pupils do it 3 times, 4 times and still pass. And I've seen my pupils do it 3, 4 times and fail. So it's going to come down to the examiner's discretion. My advice to you is keep it to a minimum. I'll say once or twice, definitely. I've never had anyone correct it twice and fail. So I would say 2 is the upper limit. It's now going to come down to the examiner's discretion. My advice to you is obviously keep it to a minimum, but you have to do what you have to do. If it means you got to correct it 4 times, do it and let the examiner decide whether it's good enough to pass. If you turn around and think, oh, 4 times too much, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to fail anyway, you're going to fail anyway. Because if you don't complete the maneuver, you can't pass. So keep it to a minimum. It's going to come down to the examiner's discretion. That's my advice on that, Chester. Nice one, Dorian. Teaching, great teaching, learnt so much, especially being put on reading the question and all in the possible answers. Keep safe. Catch you next week. See you next week, Patricia. Take care. Have a good week. Casey, thank you for turning up. Thank you for doing it on my phone now. We'll say next time. Blessing, guys. Bless you. And thank you, guys, for all turning up. Thank you for what we do. Tomorrow, as I do, I need to give equal amount of time to study with the visual perception versus those questions. It depends whether you struggle on the hazard perception. If you once you understand the hazard perception, you pass on that. Not many people fail on it. I know some people are coming up in a chat, but like I said, once you understand what you're clicking on, it's very rare that you're going to start failing on the hazard perception. It's always going to be spend more time on the questions because you don't know what question is going to come up. It's 50 questions out of a possible 800 or so. So your knowledge needs to be strong. A hazard perception, you see the problem, click. See the problem, click. That's all that is. But you don't know what question is going to come up. I love the way you're teaching. My test is on Thursday. Good luck with it Thursday. As I said, read the questions carefully, read the answers carefully. And I wish you luck with that. Come back and let me know how you got on. But I've got my fingers crossed for you, Angela. Take care. Hi, Mildred. Nice to see you back. Is it possible when you finish mock test to take hazard perception, even if you still have some minutes for mock test? No. Once you do the 50 questions and you're happy, you click end, just like I did with this. So if you do it in 20 minutes, you can click end and then you move on to the hazard perception. But the hazard perception will only finish one in 2 ways. You've clicked end or you run out of time, as you just saw. And then, like I said, once you click end, then you move on to the hazard perception. You cannot save your minutes for the hazard perception or vice versa. Fab Lady, God bless you. Don't forget to email me or get your partner to email me so I'm understanding, so I'm going to remember, what that's about. And when I finalize my bits and pieces for that course, then I'll get in contact with him and see if he wants to do it. Thank you for coming and watching, Portia. Thanks again, mate. This is so helpful. Tune in next week. Have a great week. Rhythm, do the Google and hopefully you find an intensive course. If you find one, let me know next week and we can kind of discuss it. I may have heard of the name and I can give you some advice on it or the area that's in. What days are your live sessions? Mondays, every Monday, 4:30, God willing. Tomorrow, thank you, Dorian. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. Angela, yeah, take care. Good luck with that. I will let you know how was my exam. Remember, it is this week, Dorian. Yeah, fingers crossed for you. Fingers crossed. Like I said, just read the questions carefully. Take your time and breathe. Suck in the air so the brain gets the oxygen. Thank you very much for this information. God bless you and family. God bless you. Good luck with it when you take it. I think it's next week, isn't it, Mr. Minister Jones? Hopefully I'll see you next week. Retaking for the second time tomorrow and have really helped me. Thank you. Again, I hopefully it goes well for you. Let me know how you get on. All right, guys. Casey's reminding you, I'm here 4:30 p.m. every Monday. I will see you next week. For those of you who got a test this week, good luck. Fingers crossed for all of you. and come back and let me know how you got on. Otherwise, take care, have a safe week. I'll see you next week.